Hey folks, Chef Jesse here. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. And it's raining. Yeah, it's raining. There's a storm coming. I don't know how hard. We probably won't get hit that hard in New York City. But already it's taking, unfortunately, there's places out in the island and stuff that's really affecting. Anyway, but we're indoors and we're going to cook. What we're doing here today, we usually have chicken wings on Sundays, but today we're going to have chicken, but not chicken wings. We're going to have um, is a chicken. It's a similar to. It's like a chicken stew. It's stewed chicken. It's a Latino dish, I believe. It's called Pollo Guisado, or I've heard the term Pollo Fricassé, which I believe, whichever one. But anyway, it's gonna be more of a chicken, of a stew. Okay, it's not gonna be a big stew like like all kind of stuffing and everything. Because one time I was criticized. Oh, that's not chicken stew. This is a Latino style chicken stew. I learned this from a friend of mine who passed away a few years ago. But we were friends for many years, and one time he came up to my house and he showed me how to do this, and it was so quick and so easy that I learned it ever since. So, and it's one of Gilbert's favorite dishes. So, we're gonna start off with this pot. I have some chicken thighs cut up in pieces, okay? And I'm gonna be using a lot of ingredients. Well, yeah, I got some salt and I got some salt. I have some pepper. I have about a teaspoon of salt. Teaspoon. I have about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. I have about a teaspoon of garlic. I have about a teaspoon of onion powder. I'm going to be using about 2 bay leaves. I have some of this recado, which is a cooking base for rice, beans, soups, chilies, and stews. And you buy this in the supermarket. Some people make their own. I just never got around to make my own. We're going to have some olives. I'm going to put some olives in there. I'm going to be using some of this beef stock, this chicken bouillon, and of course some tomato sauce. Okay, and some potatoes are going to go in there now, not in the beginning, because they'll get they'll soften up too much, they'll fall apart. So we're going to put when this gets going, it's going to cook pretty fast. We'll put the potatoes in. I have a pot here for brown rice. I like brown rice, but I'm just in the mood to eat some of that white rice. So I'm making a little bit of white rice for myself, and then we'll get the brown rice, and then we'll eat the chicken. Okay. So let's start off. I washed the chicken already. Okay. And let's see. We're gonna show you how it's done. Okay. So we got my. Let's see. Okay. So I have some oil, a little bit of olive oil to cover the bottom. Now we're gonna start. We're gonna dump in our chicken. Chicken's been washed. And these are chicken thighs cut up into smaller pieces and halves. Okay, we're just gonna lay our chicken down like this in that oil now. Okay, and it looks like a lot of chicken, but some of it will probably lose water and shrink. But these are all chicken thighs. You can use any kind of chicken you want, like chicken legs. Today we don't have any chicken legs. I usually put some chicken legs in it, but we don't have chicken legs. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna first start off with this paste, the sazon. Okay, I'm gonna put the whole thing in there. Okay, so it's not much in there. Okay, we're gonna wash this out. Learned that trick from my mother. Okay, there we go. So that gets tossed in the garbage. Now we have the salt there, a teaspoon of salt. Teaspoon of quarter teaspoon of pepper, teaspoon of garlic, teaspoon of onion powder, the beef bouillon powder here. This is no sodium, so it's good. This just gives it more chicken flavor. That's all it is. Okay, and we're gonna put in some olives. Oh, we're gonna put in the bay leaves. Okay, there we go. We're gonna put in some bay leaves. I'm gonna put in a dash of oregano. There we go. And we're gonna put a dash of some parsley. I just like parsley. That's why just a little dash of parsley. There we go. And then we're gonna get some olives going. Okay. And these are pitted olives. They don't have the pit inside. You don't want pits inside your olives, because you don't want to knock out a tooth. So give some of this red pimento in there, okay? And we're gonna put enough olives. Gilbert likes the olives, so we put them. Okay, so and then we're gonna put some tomato. We're gonna put a half can of tomato sauce, okay? And we're gonna put some of this sazon. This is what gives it the color. It's got coloring in it, which is gonna give it the nice. You can use paprika if you want, but I use the sazon. It gives it flavor. Okay, now we're gonna put some water in there, and I'll show you what we're doing here. Okay, we got 2 cups of water, and I'm gonna give it about another cup and a half. About a cup and a half. I just want to cover up the chicken. I want to make enough. Okay, that should be enough. Okay, so a cup and a quarter, give or take. Okay, and that's it. That's it. It's done. You just cover it up, turn it on, and forget it. Now, okay, bring that to a boil. Taste the liquid. Make sure it doesn't need anything else. If it needs some salt, pepper, garlic, whatever, you add it at the time. And then I'm going to cut up some potatoes. I'm going to cube them. I'm going to show you in just a minute. And then I'm going to throw it in there when this is all almost done. Okay, so stay tuned after this commercial break. Let me go get the potatoes and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, folks, so we're back. I'm going to peel these potatoes. I got 2 of them. Okay. And I got this potato peeler. It is amazing. It looks like it's homemade, but I bought it from this guy who used to go around the street selling them. 1 for $3 and 2 for $5. He passed away. He was an old guy, well dressed in a suit, and he used to give demonstrations on this peeler. And supposedly he got these from Switzerland. He bought a whole bunch of them. He went to Switzerland and he came and he had a contract with the company. And he passed away a few years ago. His daughter took over the business. I don't know if she still sells these things, but these things are amazing. It's better than those plastic ones you see in the stores. It never goes dull. It's supposed to be a Swiss blade. Okay. And it's amazing. It really is. It's okay. So here you go. Look how fast this gets done. Look at this. Oh, look at that. Okay. Okay, we got a little bit of a piece here that's a little bit gone. We're gonna pick that out. Okay. Okay, we're gonna pick this out. Let's cut this out here. Okay, let's go. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're gonna pick it out. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna cut these up in cubes. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna cube these like so. Okay, this has a little bit of skin and everything on it. Okay. And we're gonna put that in there. Okay. We're gonna cut them up like this. Cut them in cubes and 4s, and they look like this. Okay. We're gonna continue. We're gonna quarter them. Okay. But don't put these just in yet, because if not, they'll fall apart, and you won't find the potatoes. So towards the end, then you could put them in. Okay, so there you go. And then just cut that one in half, and that's it. Oops. Okay, that was in the center. Okay, so you cut the ends off. There you go. In the middle. Put that in there. There we go. That was a big chunk. Okay, here they go. 4s. Okay, they look good. Okay. Okay, then you just cut. Okay, quarter. Okay. So there we go. We have a lot of potatoes here today. Okay. Cut that in half. Okay, and then we cut this in half, right? Okay. So looks like this. Look at that. Okay. So we're gonna put these potatoes in towards the end. Okay. This piece here that had the hole, we're not gonna use this. There's no need to. Okay. So save these, and then later on, you're gonna put them in, and the starch is gonna help thicken up the sauce and all that good stuff. So yeah. So let's wait till that boils, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so as you can see now, everything's simmering, and like I said, this is gonna cook up pretty quick, half hour, 45 minutes. I'm gonna let that simmer now for a little while, and then I'll add the potatoes, and then I'm gonna start making my white rice. I have some little bit of oil, a teaspoon of oil in it. We're gonna get some water. It's a teaspoon of water, teaspoon of olive oil, and then we put some a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of olive oil, and we're gonna put 2 cups of water in there. We're gonna cook one cup of rice just for myself. I don't eat rice that much, but we're gonna cook. Okay, so I'm using this nice aluminum pot, and then in this one we're gonna make the brown rice. So stay tuned. So folks, I'm gonna throw in my potatoes now because this has been simmering for a while, and it's almost done, believe it or not. We put our potatoes in there. We're gonna let our potatoes cook now. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna let those potatoes cook. And that's gonna take a little while, so that's gonna take maybe 15-20 minutes, or a little bit more. The potatoes get softened. And then we are going to start making my rice. And we should be in the table today early. Yeah, okay. Gonna bring that to a boil. And, okay, so my water's running, boiling. I'm gonna drop my rice in. Okay, 1 cup of rice. And then we're gonna mix it around. We're gonna bring that to a boil. And then, okay. Okay, folks, so my chicken is almost done. I added the potatoes. I'm waiting for the potatoes to get a little bit more softer. My white rice is almost done. It's in halfway there. And my brown rice is going to be done soon. So we're going to go to the table in a few. So stay tuned. So folks, everything is done, and we're going to take it to the table. I want you to look at this chicken when it's done. Ooh, look at that. Potatoes are done. Everything is done. It looks nice. So join us at the table in a couple of minutes. I'm going to put this into a plate, and we're going to go to the table. So next stop, the table. Okay, folks, so we have some Pollo Guisado, which translates to, it's a stewed chicken. I started out with some chicken, I put some tomato sauce, I put some sazon, I put a bunch of ingredients, salt, pepper, garlic, bay leaves, oregano, parsley, and I just let that boil in there. I threw in some potatoes, some olives, and it's done. And I have some brown rice for Gilbert and some white rice for myself. I eat brown rice, but I like the white rice. I like the burned part of the bottom of the pot. So I made that for myself. It's nice and crunchy. So anyway, let's show you. So that's what it looks like. We have some homemade bread here from a worker from MoMA. Mr. Bailey, and I of course know him. So Mr. Bailey baked some bread for us, and you know, I've never seen like somebody really bake like bread like that, you know. And I just tasted it. I just tasted a little piece, and it's delicious. It's homemade bread. It looks like a brick, I'll tell you, and it's heavy like a brick. But let me show you. This is what it looks like. This is the end. And I know that in the old, my mother never used to eat the end. The end was to protect the rest of the bread. But you know what? Breaking from habit, I'm going to eat the end. And there's a lot of people who don't eat the end. But there's a name for this stuff. But look at the size of this thing. This is, if I threw this out the window, it'd probably kill somebody. Thank you, Mr. Bailey. I know he don't hardly watch the video, but anyway, we thank you him anyway. Gilbert could probably show him the video. So anyway, a shout out to Mr. Bailey for having a bread. So we're gonna have some bread today with it. And again, we have the chicken, we have the rice, and we're gonna sit down now, and I'm gonna tell you how it tastes. Come on. So this cooked in about less than an hour. The chicken is like falling apart. It's there was Guido jumping on me. He's gonna be fed after this, and I made some white rice for myself, which is good for dogs. So I'm gonna probably give him a little bit, mix him with some of the hard food, just to stiffen him up. And but he's gotta wait. So there goes the chicken. Look at that. There goes Guido. So the chicken is very tender. It's very delicious. just the way I like it. I'm not much of a rice eater. Once in a while, maybe once a month, maybe twice, we eat rice. Mostly when we have a dish like this, we eat rice. And when we have like Asian food. Other than that, not much of a rice eater. So folks, all where you're at, the storm doesn't get you that hard. This dog is like, he acts like he hasn't eaten in years. And he's only 4 months old. And he's got this sad look that you give into him, because he's got this sad looking eyes. But it's part of the whole gimmick to try to get food. But it's delicious. I've never had a bread like this. And now he started to bark. That's the new one. Before he used to just beg, now he's pushing his luck. So, anyway, folks, Sunday, day to rest, right? Day to calm down. Back. Tomorrow's a holiday, Columbus Day. I know the controversial with Columbus Day and everything, so we won't touch on that. But for those who celebrate Columbus Day, happy Columbus Day. It is what history. You can't rewrite history, unfortunately. The man did what he did, and mostly his men. I believe that it was men. I really believe the story that his men were prisoners and criminals and everything. Did most of the bad stuff that we recently learned. Because when I went to school, Christopher Columbus was a hero. We even had plays and everything. I was in a play. I think like in second grade or something. But anyway, we know now that history is different. History has changed, and so once again, but it is history. We can't change it. Just like the Holocaust. People get offended, but it's just something that you just can't change. It's a mistake. Slavery was a mistake. All these things were mistakes, but we learn hopefully from our mistakes, so it doesn't happen again. They say history repeats itself. So a little bit of history there, and for those who, once again, happy Columbus Day, Indigenous Day. That a lot of people, but the president refuses to recognize it. So that's another story. Someday it'll be official. So it's Indigenous Day. The president the other day said that the only holiday in October is Columbus Day. So obviously he doesn't recognize it. So, but I'm not going to get into politics with that. But someday things will change. So there you got it. A little bit of controversial info. And I'm going to start eating because the food's going to get cold. I love you guys. Watch my videos. Set your politics aside and let's just live our lives. There's a lot of things to worry about that are more important to us than politics, really. Because if you start paying attention to politics, we'll go crazy. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.